21. Should I behave in such a way as this, then whether among harmful people or even in the midst of women, and I added or men because of what you said, the steady effort to control myself will not decline. So if you control your anger and subdue your attachment and have mindful alertness, and you're still around difficult people, you'll enhance your practice.
Yes.
More.
Yes. So yeah, the long as you have this 19 and 20 that practice, then this 21 is no problem. So you can handle the anger, you can handle the attachment.
Yeah.
That too is there.
So we need to be thankful for those people.
Yes. Okay, so the next then, Debe Connor.
Okay, 22 is, it is better to be without wealth, honor, body, and livelihood, and it is better to let other virtues deteriorate rather than ever to let the virtues of the mind decline. And focus on controlling the mind. Look at where you're putting your energy in, and the things if you spend too much time focusing on temporary things to make this life good and the virtues and the praise in this life, that's definitely a waste of time. What are real virtues? Real virtues are training the mind and focusing your entire life on the benefit of others.
Great. Yeah, so anyone have any comments? Everyone okay? That is easy to, but not that hard to understand, but it's harder to practice too, because we have desires, attachment, and we don't let go easily. This word, we cannot go easily. Honor, livelihood. So that is so important, like ordinary people, right? So strongly desire attached to that, not easy to let go. But these practitioners who recognize future lives, then they who understand and cause and the effect, that person, like I think, easy to handle this part. So then that person is taking care of the mind, not the other part. Yeah. Okay, so then 32, 23, sorry, 23, Debe, another Debe, Debe B.
Debbie B. 23. Oh, you who wish to guard your minds, I beseech you with folded hands. Always exert yourself to guard mindfulness and alertness. So he's just saying the primary instructions. He's saying in order to practice the main practice is mindfulness and alertness. And if you practice that with your Dharma will then be successful. And he's also saying, I respect all who wish to guard their mind in this way. So he's bowing down to everyone who's willing to take this up and attempt to practice in this way.
Yes, Shanti Deva bowed down to you.
Oh, no. Shanti Deva.
Yeah. So he respect for who has awareness, mindful. Mm.
And he kind of made this, he's done all these verses related to this. So now he's kind of saying, hey, this is it. This is the pith instruction. This is what you got to do. He's told you why. And now he's telling you this is it.
Yes. So that sentence is a kind of like introduction. Then it's more intensely sharing the more teaching about mindful guide. Mm. Okay, 24. Curtis, please.
Okay, yes, sir. Well, let me bring it up. Go to someone else, please. I'm having trouble getting my text up.
Okay, so Fan, please.
Yes, Kenpo. People who are disturbed by sickness have no strength to do anything useful. Likewise, those whose minds are disturbed by confusion have no strength to do anything wholesome.
Mhm.
So he's comparing the physical illness. People are depleted with energy, therefore they cannot do anything when they're sick physically. So when you are ill mentally or being confused, you will not be able to do anything or solve anything or see anything clearly because it's clouded by confusion.
Yes.
Is that right, Kempo?
Oh, yeah. So anyone has any comments? Everyone okay that? If your mind is not really controlled, it's loose functions, do you have a power or no? No, right? So if we get something sick and then we don't have a strength, right? Our body. Okay, so that's good Peter instruction too. We understanding very clearly. Mary, please, can you read the next? 25.
Sure. Whatever has been learnt, contemplated, and meditated upon, but those whose mind lack alertness, just like water in a leaking vase, will not be retained in their memory. Well, this one is, I think, fairly straightforward. The leaky vase concept is not unknown to me. So your alertness is what helps you put your things, not just listen to them, but actually and understand them and keep them in mind so that you can constantly practice.
Yes. So do you have that problem, Mary?
Yes, of course. Are you kidding? I'm the original leaky vase. I have a big hole at the bottom.
So your vase is leaking or no?
Oh yeah. I'm working on it.
So
I
still,
plug one hole and all the rest pop up.
yes. Oh. So I think this everyone has this problem, right? Correct? Or about Maryland? Forget or no?
I forget so many things, but then there's other things that I never forget. But yeah, stuff goes in one ear and out the other often.
How about Sandra?
Yes, of course. Otherwise, we'd answer your questions perfectly every time.
So otherwise we are easily like professional, right? We are easily become the realizer. If we not forget, not happen like this problem. Okay.
I think I might be enlightened by now if I wasn't such a leaky vase.
What leaky vase?
Obviously, my vase has been leaky for many, many lifetimes.
So what are you
I
going to
seem to
do?
remember the negative things that happened to me more clearly than all the positive stuff that I should remember.
So we can licking negative things too, right? Licking the positive and licking the negative. So then we don't have a both. That's also good to comparing to all the holding the negative. Negative is all licking and the positive is all licking. So that's not good. But we can licking both.
Yeah.
Like in a practitioner can be licking both. But then practitioner, I think licking the negative, not licking the positive, right? Mostly ordinary regular beings, usually mostly licking is positive.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can licking both, but then slowly we hold the positive. Okay. 26. Tom Wazini, please.
Even those who have much learning, faith and willing perseverance will become defiled by a moral fall due to the mistake of lacking alertness.
Mm.
So if we develop a hole in our leather shoe and don't notice it, it's could become a much larger problem. So remain alert at all times.
Yes. So we study laws, we study laws, still we have faith, we have effort, but still the problem is licking, right? So that is actually our problem, mostly our problem. We study laws and listening laws teachings. Then we have a devotion. We have a effort because we put effort time to listening, teaching, contemplate, meditate, but not much impact, not much change, transform. So what happened? The problem is the mistake of liking alertness. Then that brings defied by moral fires. So that's actually Shantideva already gave this similar before. If someone does broken vows and mistakes and create negativity, and then they do confessions, restoring again, and then broken again, restoring again, just like that, very hard to reach Buddhahood, right? So that kind of similar is here. It's like even with listening, teaching, we contemplate, we have a devotions, we have a passion, we put effort, but not much effect, practice, not much transform, not get much result. The problem is because lacking awareness, due to that, we create negativity. Yeah. Important words for us. This 25, 26 is we have to think about again, because we are study, we are contemplate, we are meditating, practicing. Okay, so now next 27 EDG, please.
The seeds of unalertness in following upon the decline of mindfulness will steal even the merits I have firmly gathered, so that I shall then proceed to lower realms.
Mm.
So if you're not mindful or alert, you lose your focus and your strength will decline. And the end result could be ending in the lower realms.
Yes. So the thieves of unawareness, does it make sense or no?
Yes, if we're talking about, there's many things, I guess, defilements, not living properly. I mean, there's a lot of things that come into play that end up being distractions from losing your focus
Yeah.
and mindfulness, if you will.
Yeah, the thief of unalertness. So unalertness is the same as a thief come into your mind and stealing all your virtuous deeds. So this emotion is the same as a thief, right? You think so? Because
Absolutely.
we don't recognize when they're into our mind. They manipulate, right? Manipulate. So we need the security code. Security, I think. So otherwise the thief is coming in easily. They take all the virtuous deeds. We do so hard work, put so much effort. Then these emotions take all our virtuous deeds, qualities. We cannot happen like that, right? Yes. So you work so hard. You create a lot of special in your home. Then thief take away everything. So what are you going to do? You upset?
Are you asking me? You recognize that you could get upset.
Mm.
So you're paying attention to everything that's going on.
Yes. So we have this problem. So I have this problem. I think everyone has a problem, right? Anyone who don't have this problem, raise the hand. I think everyone except. So everyone except Shanti Devas. He is very happy. He be very happy. Okay. So now next 28. 28. Sandra, please.
This host of thieves who are my own disturbing conceptions will search for a good opportunity. Having found it, they will steal my virtue and destroy the attainment of life in a happy realm. So I think this is really just like 27. And I guess it's why you need to be alert, because they're good at finding opportunities, right? I mean, we can get triggered so easily by things.
They take the opportunities. Then who's the loser?
I am, we are, yeah.
Lose for what?
Our virtue, lose our virtue, lose a future good rebirth, you know.
Yes. See, that's why this it takes like having fun. Yeah, it's and destroy the attainment of life in a happy realm. That's a big problem, right? The more problem the thief. Ordinary thief just take away maybe your something special object that take away our car or something like that, but that cannot put us in the lower realms, and they cannot destroy the liberation, future happiness. But this emotion is more dangerous than that, right? That takes all our future life happiness. Okay, make sense or no? Yes. Okay. So now it's then 29. Evia, please.
Therefore, I shall never let mindfulness depart from the doorway of my mind. If it goes, I should recall the misery of the lower realms and firmly reestablish it there.
Mhm.
So we do everything we can to be mindful. And when we realize that we're not being mindful, we come back because we have that visceral fear of being drugged down to the lower realms when the thieves instantly appear when that mindfulness is lost.
Yes. Everyone agreed? Okay, right? Easy to understand. So we have to really put the security, like same as lock the drawer. So we have to block the cannot come into our emotions, our mind. So that's what we have to do through the mindful awareness. Okay, so then next, Amanda, please 30.
Habits and through fear, mindfulness will be beautiful.
We didn't hear the
The topic.
Amanda, can you hear?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yours is like kind of goes where and we didn't hear.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, your internet is not strong, I think.
Do you want me to wait, or do you want me to read it now?
One more.
Okay. Through staying in a company of spiritual masters. Is that any better?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. Thank you. Through staying in the company of spiritual masters, through the instructions of abbots, and through fear, mindfulness will easily be generated in fortunate people who practice with respect. I think this is really beautiful. It's how to maintain mindful alertness and under what conditions does it flourish. So through our spiritual teachers, the Buddhas, and our Sangha, if we rely on them, our spiritual guides, then they'll lead us, of course. And if we think we can practice on our own, we lose that mindful alertness, and it's hard to maintain alertness. So I think we have to watch our own pride with this. And also having fear of the lower realms, and then mindfulness is generated. And so fortunate people are those who have the good accumulation of merit and who can practice with Sangha and a teacher. The Nando practice is really important for this as well. Because if we lose our effort and we get a wrong view, then it becomes obstacles and it makes our practice very hard.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so anyone has a comment that it's a great word, right? Important. So anyway, it's a guideline, we need this.
I have a question on that. When you're traveling and you don't have the internet or you don't have a monastery or whatever, how do you maintain the connection with the spiritual masters?
The connect with spiritual masters, maybe like Elise Wakes, is you just then, monthly. Not every day with it, but it's just Elise Wakes, listening teaching or must be like monthly, listening something, teaching, and followed by the instructions, teachings, practice.
So can you maintain a connection with the meditation?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Mm.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. So then enter the like we have independently you can practice yourself. So then enter that have to rely on the teachers and the sangha. So independently practice means then like think about the okay, easy to share like think about Malarepa's story. So when he meet Marpa Loza and purify all the karma and hardships after Marpa Loza give him teachings, then Marpa Loza he didn't send him to beg his home, so he kept there him and put in the meditation retreat. And then same time he giving all the time teachings for him. So until Malarepa is like can be independently, he can without the teacher, so he can practice meditate. He's not going to lose his practice. So that's Marpa Loza recognized. Until that, he kept him there. So like that. So then Marpa Loza not every day meet Malarepa, not everywhere. I don't think so. Every month they meet together, but just anywhere he kept him there, and when he giving teachings like after maybe monthly, sometimes and during that time Marpa Loza also went to India too, when Malarepa was his place. But during that time Marpa Loza went to India. It takes years to come back. So Malarepa stay his Marpa Loza's place. Okay, so now next. Is name you didn't have a name, David. No name, David. David, can you chant this 31?
You say
Your-
Kempo?
Yeah. Your name come back.
Oh, okay. I have you very small. Okay, let me go back again. Okay. 31, no?
Yes.
Okay. I am ever dwelling in the presence of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas who are always endowed with unstructured vision. What I understand, Kempo, is that be connected with the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in his presence. You're going to have the opportunity to avoid have obstruction of you're going to have a good vision about the practice, and you're going to have the support from them. Have that connection with them always, and yeah.
Yes. Okay, so we just always think Bodhisattva is in always with us, yeah?
Yes.
That's for doing great positively.
I know that you repeat it a lot. That we have to maintain that positivity, that connection in all our action and daily activities, and whatever we are in the work, in the house, whatever.
Yeah.
To maintain that channel connected, with our radio station.
Yes. Yes. So anyone has any comments for that? Everyone okay? That's easy one. But that's a good instruction for us. We always can think about that. And we have to reminding Buddha is with us. So 32, Thomas.
Yes, Kempo. By thinking in this way, I shall mindfully develop a sense of shame, respect, and fear. Also, through doing this, recollection of the Buddha will repeatedly occur. By having this mindfulness and thinking that the Buddha and the Bodhisattvas are always with us, you should have a sense of shame and fear. If you don't think shame and fear and respect develop mindfully, the recollection of the Buddha will repeatedly occur. Mindful alertness will be developed. So visualize Buddha and the spiritual teacher.
Yes. Okay, great.
I have a question.
Yes.
I understand the main point, but just the verse itself, I feel like it's saying, by remembering the Buddha, you'll develop your mindfulness, and through this, you will remember the Buddha. Like I kind of don't understand the verse itself.
So, which you mean the words direction?
It's like a sandwich. It's like a sandwich. By remembering the Buddha, you will develop mindfulness, and this will help you remember the Buddha.
Yeah. So I don't know the English instruction how to go. Yeah, the Tibetan is they put very beautiful. So yeah, it's hard to this kind of like poetry is translation to English to put all the meanings there correctly. So not easy, but words is there, but you don't really get the what actually sometimes like talking about. Yes, Evia?
I see another way of reading it.
I think it's tied to the 31, and to me, it sounds like it's an attitude, like a meditation or attitude that you can carry with you throughout your day. I like dwelling in the presence of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, so you're feeling them with you always, with unobstructed vision. So you're trying to feel them with you, like your teacher has shown you, and then you mindfully develop as you think of that. You develop for yourself, as you try to become more like them, a sense of shame and respect and fear, which helps maintain that alertness. And then you're going to keep remembering them and that view that your teacher has shown you. So to 31 and 32, to me, sound like it's something you can practice throughout the day, and they'll reinforce each other, but it takes a little effort, maybe.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. Yeah, let's go to together. And this most practitioners, like they always kept that in the mindfully, these words in the mind. Remind Buddha to always be with us, and also remind again Buddha. So the reminding or recollection Buddha, then that's also part of meditation. The purify impure perceptions too. So very important that this recollection of the Buddhas will repeatedly occurs. Okay, so some areas only that talk about the meditation is reminding Buddha. I think recollection of Buddha means reminding, same, right? Recollection of Buddha. You think about again. Yeah. So that's also part of the visualization meditation. Practice Yadam deity too. Okay, so no.
Kempo, I have another thought, and I'm ready to read too. On 31 and 32, another way to read it would be the third line of 32, when it says, also through doing this, it may be, you could take that to refer to the line just before it. As you develop, healthy sense of shame, respect, and fear, that will cause recollection of the Buddha too. And then it isn't quite as circular as Sandra was saying.
Okay.
Word shame, could it be more like remorse for if you did some transactions? Or is it real shame that you are ashamed of yourself?
Shamed of ourselves, like, oh, I did it wrong, like means like shamed of ourselves.
Okay, so but remorse is what in the 7 limbs is more remorseful, right?
Mm.
If we recognize we've done something wrong, like raised our voice in anger.
Yeah.
I don't really feel ashamed
Yeah,
so much.
there's a shame is like it's a actually sense of shame. Some like culturally this is like hard, actually, and some culturally shame means like you're pushing yourself down.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
don't have confidence. So that kind of people, think this is the not really good words. Shame means like ourselves, like try to like kind of pushing down ourselves, lose our courages. So the there's the many people think that way. Some actually the main point is a shame is we do something wrong and all Bodhisattva is there. I promise, like I wanted to do good, so I did it wrong. That recognize ourselves and the kind of regret again. Doing wrong thing, recognize.
I think regret and remorse is better in English because shame,
Mm,
to me, the first thing that comes to mind is it's against deity pride.
right.
Yeah,
Mm,
I don't like that word.
Yeah, the way it popped out to me is I keyed on the word shame, and I'm thinking, I have good thoughts and bad thoughts. Some are terrible thoughts, and to a Buddha or Bodhisattva, everything is like an open book. They can see everything. So I'm saying, oh, that's something they can see. So I need to work on that.
mm. Yeah, that's a good way of thinking.
Kind of like Santa Claus. He knows when you've been good or bad.
Mm.
Yeah, great.
If someone knows your mind, so you have better thoughts, what do you think? That's called shame or yourself shame or what is it like? It's regret.
Sometimes it's fear, sometimes it's shame. It's always regret.
Yeah. So that's then shame also the words is there, but it's just the depending how to you receiving information, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And as I have a development of that healthy shame or remorse, respect and fear, the more I have those qualities, the more likely I'm going to remember the Buddha.
Mm. Yeah, this shame words is also some I heard some Tibetan or someone says the words is not good, like pushing down ourselves, and people don't if think that way, then people don't have a confident and worldly something that thinking about, but it's spiritually you think something different than worldly thinking. Spiritual ways like just ADG says, see Buddha, this all has omniscience, recognize our mind, seeing clearly what we're doing. So then, I can, if something wrong is I will shame. So that kind of a thing is spiritual way is better. Okay, so now we go to the next one, 33.
Simple.
Yes,
Can I ask a question?
yes, please.
Um, and I think you answered it. I just want to make sure I understand. When we say recollection of the Buddha will repeatedly occur, and you said that can also mean our Yidam deity practice. So that's visualizing the Yidam like at the crown, or in the heart, or at the navel. Is that correct?
This the recollection of the Buddha were repeatedly occur is just like think about like Yadam deity is like your mind, right? Brain to your mind. And often and often, whatever you're doing, like when you offerings, like me, you eating or you drink something and you offerings, and when you walk on the somewhere and the visualize the Buddha is bring to your mind, visualize the Yadam deities. So that's all is part of that recollection of Buddha will repeatedly occur. Yeah. Okay. So now let's go to 33rd. Gail Percy, please, can you read the 33rd? Gail?
A while to unmute. I'm sorry. I have to switch screens all the time.
You're doing something we cannot recognize.
Well, I have to fix my computer.
Is it-
Anyway, 33. When mindfulness is set with the purpose of guarding the doorway of the mind, then alertness will come about, and even that which has gone will return. Oh, good. It'll return. Okay, so the doorway is like a passage. Again, it's this open doorway that we can really guard it. We can guard it by locking the doorway from outside wanderings, and then really keep up our boundaries, our fortress, and the alertness will sharpen, and then we'll be back into mindfulness, a very stronger, maybe even a stronger mindfulness. That's how I interpret it.
Yes, great.
And it's happy too, because we are always given a second chance.
Yes. If you lose your mind for alertness, then you guide it really correctly where it's coming back again. Mindful, come back again. So anyone has a comment? Everyone okay that? Okay, so then we go to the next one. Next is mindful alertness guide our conduct. The conduct followed by the Bodhisattva's conduct is followed by three. So you know that three is like abandon and non-virtuous deeds, cultivate, practice virtuous deeds, and benefit for other beings. So this first part is abandon the non-virtuous. So like something opposite of the mindful and alertness. So we have to abandon that. 34 is Naomi, can you read? Are you dying or?
Yeah, I'm driving.
Okay, don't read. Okay, don't read.
Okay.
Your safety is more important. Thank you. You have so effort. So, Lisa, Lewis, can you read the 34?
When just as I am about to act, I see that my mind is tainted with defilement. At such a time, I should remain unmovable like a piece of wood. So yeah, this means like when you need to check your mind for defilements, and if you observe them, then being still like a piece of wood means, just staying in a state of alertness and not harming other people. And you need to recognize your actions as good or bad.
Yes. So first we just load our intention, right?
Yes.
So your intention is incorrect. Then just stop what we're doing. Action is a stop. So must be same as the piece of wood, right?
Yes.
Can you do that?
At times, but certainly not all the time.
Okay. So it's a good instruction for us actually. When something we hear, so we reaction so fast, we don't check our intention. And Shanti Deva give us like slow down. He gives stop sign for us. Okay. Usually we don't stop. We don't have a traffic light. We don't have a stop signs. So Shanti Deva give stop signs our mind. If we don't have a stop signs, we get accident. So stop sign, then avoid the accident, right? Get accident. Think about that. So it's very good to be think these words. Okay, so now do we go to the next 35. 35 is literally Stewart L. So L is who is L? Oh, hi.
Hi. You want me to read 35, Kempo?
Yes, yes.
I joined late. Which chapter are we on?
Oh, chapter 5.
Full acceptance of the awakening mind or conscientiousness? I'm not sure which one that is.
Chapter 5 and the 35.
Guarding alertness?
Yes.
Never should I look around distractedly for no purpose. With a resolute mind, I should always keep my eyes cast downwards.
Okay, can you explain?
I was just walking around and I couldn't focus on the teachings because I couldn't focus. I was getting distracted by other people in my neighborhood unless I kept my eyes down at the phone.
Then that's good. See, never should look around.
I felt like I couldn't concentrate.
Yeah, that's
if
why
I did.
You cannot concentrate, so you have to don't look to distraction things.
The city's too hectic. I find I can only concentrate without my mind being carried away by looking downwards, actually. So.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyone has a comments about that? If we look to see the object is distracting. One reason is distraction. Second reason is become attached to object. And the desire to the object, or the maybe give the aversion arise through the object. So that's the reason Shantideva said directly for no purpose. If you don't have really purpose, don't look to the who give you the desire, which object give you the emotions. Don't look for that. With a resolute mind, I should always keep my eye cast downwards. Eye downwards with alertness and mindful. So use the object, the cause, arise the emotions. So that kind of any object, Shantideva said, don't look. Okay, so then 36. Kates, you didn't read it, right, Kates?
Thank you, Kempo. 36. But in order to relax the gaze, for a short while I should look around. And if someone appears in my field of vision, I should look at him and say, welcome. As you were saying earlier today, it's if I'm too busy looking down and not paying attention, I could be rude. It's important to not be rude. And it's probably good to look around a little bit from time to time to relax the gaze and to see if there's anybody I need to speak to.
Don't try to look to finding someone speak to, right? If someone really needed to help, so speak to you, then no ignore, yeah? Mm-hmm. Or you looking for someone speak to you?
You're wanting to give respect is the reason you're looking around. You're not trying to get respect. You're trying to give it.
Okay. So who going to look to speak to you? Someone looking to speak to you, looking to.
Well, if they do, I'm gracious to receive it, but
no.
I should not have any attachment.
If we sometimes we look speak to some other people and just looking, right? They're correct or not? Dependent actually, yeah. It's speak to something, looking to someone is you have to give some messages, information. So then you have to look to someone to give information to someone. But when you practice, then you don't have to log someone speak to, right? And if someone need you, then you speak to them, but you don't log to someone speak to. Yes.
I think it depends on the situation.
Yes.
You know, sometimes call for showing respect more than others.
Yes.
If you're walking by somebody on the sidewalk, it's really good manners to say hello. If they're on the other side of the street, it's not necessary.
Okay. Okay, so kept best, which is a good way. Yeah, just each situation has a different kind, and some you have to responding and say something. Some just okay to let go. If something you don't have to say, let king go is let king go is better. If you talk, you cannot separate easily. Yes, you stuck there sometimes, people.
That's
Oh.
when you walk on the other side of the street when you see the person coming.
Okay, so then go to the 37. 37, Fan, please, can you read the 37?
Yes, Kempo. To check if there is any danger on the path, I should look again and again in the four directions. To rest, I should turn my head around and then look behind me. So this one, Shantadeva wants us to be very alert and mindful in our surrounding in all situation. And I think the key is not to be too extreme and rigid, but to be aware on all angles.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you, Kempo.
Anyone has comments for that? So that's just kept the good conduct. And see this, the Buddha's his followers during that time is all this monks. Actually, we do also in the practice sometimes like really mindful practicing conduct is we cannot look too far away and like talking like other side people everywhere. Kept very strict and eyes down the like front and walking, you know, one by one in the monks you can see sometimes in the temples. So that actually follow the mindful. We can see sometimes in the like other some country the monks follow the bake the food or it's laying by, you know, and then they don't everyone look everywhere, just you see all is straight in the same directions, kind of similar, walking very smoothly and peacefully. So if you're doing that way and then sometimes the danger comes, like Shantideva said, you have to look directions, check any danger is there. That time is like elephant, it's crazy elephant, it's India lots. So we have to check here is a car, you know, some people, you know, don't know the dung towers comes and we have to check the car is coming or not, cross the road. So we have to log the directions, check again.
This is why it's this verse addresses people who listen to music when they're walking in traffic. It's very dangerous. You have to be able to hear the horns and not be distracted from paying attention.
Yeah, so that people is like no alertness, no mindful. Because you shut down your alertness and mindful, put something into your ear. So actually, who has a mindful alertness, even the body is also like very not seeing anything, like we so kept focusing one way, but actually the aware or the present everything. So that's you recognize when you meditate. When your mind is kept the focusing something and you have alertness, mindful, recognize our presence. So totally different than listening music on the air. Okay, so now we go to the 38. 38. Amanda, can you read the 38, please?
Yes, Kempo. Having examined both ahead and behind, I should proceed to either.
It's gone again. Your voice gone again, Amanda.
Sorry, I think my internet connection is not very good.
Yeah.
My internet.
I can call you after. So, Sandra, can you read that one? 30. Which one? 38, right?
Having examined both ahead and behind, I should proceed to either come or go. Being aware of the necessity for such mindful alertness, I should behave like this in all situations. It's very similar to what we said. One comment you made was it was similar to when we drive a car, we have to be really mindful, everything going around us as we drive.
Yes. Yeah, that's just very similar. The other 37, 38 is very similar. Okay, so now Tom Wazini.
Oh, I just had one comment too on 38 that came to me as I was reading that earlier. It reminds me a little bit of refraining too, like checking our mind before we decide to move forward, like, so kind of catching yourself before you practicing that mindfulness and saying, is this okay to move forward with this action? So similar to driving the car, we drive the car, we know if we're at a stoplight, if it's safe to move forward or not. But if I'm examining my mind and watching my thoughts, is it safe to move forward with that next action? So kind of refraining if it's not.
Yes, thank you. Tom, so now 39.
Once having prepared for an action with a thought, my body will remain in such a way, then periodically I should look to see how the body is being maintained. I think what he's getting at is that once you've made a choice, a thoughtful choice, that your sense of alertness doesn't end there, and that you can use your body as a like a sounding board in a sense, or a way to know if you're mindfully alert, because it'll give itself away if you're distracted. It'll tense up. It'll do something out of the ordinary, and then that's an alert that says, let me rethink my situation here for a moment.
Yes. Thank you, Tom.
You're welcome.
Anyone has any comment to that? So the main point is like checking our body. body also does lots of mistakes. So we have to control the body. Your hand is going to cut the tree, so you control your hand.
But this reminds me of one time I had to ford a river 15 times with a pack. And so this verse really hit me. You really got to be careful, you know, by yourself out in the middle of nowhere, fording a river with a 40-pound pack, you know.
Yes.
So you really got to pay attention to every step and your balance, everything. So that's hit me.
Yes. Okay, so then any have a comment over that? Understand everything? Okay. Then we go to next one. 40 is Maryline, please. 40.
With the utmost effort, I should check to see that the crazed elephant of my mind is not wandering off, but is bound to the great pillar of thinking about Dharma. So we need to keep mindful awareness of what our mind is doing, our thoughts, and rein it in, hold it steady to think about the Dharma instead of just going, following thoughts everywhere, running around like a crazy elephant.
Yes.
This whole section is about watching our mind to have our body and speech in sync with our mind, I think.
Yeah. So that we have crazy minds put in the Dharma practice.
Right.
To the great pillar of thinking about the Dharma. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, usually people does like mind is too much going on there, listening music or watching the TV, and so that kind of doesn't help. Actually, you know, temporarily you forget, but it's come back again, and not really transforming your mind. It's your problem still there. So if you put practice your mind and then really affected in your mind, it can transform your mind. Crazy minds can subdue and transform.
We have to think everything is Dharma.
Yes. Okay, so now we go to the 41. 41 EDG.
Okay, 41. Those who strive by all means for concentration should not wander off even for a moment. But by thinking, how is my mind behaving, they should closely analyze their mind. So the notes I made on that: continue to monitor my mind. How am I doing? Check, continually check, closely analyze the mind. And the other note I made was point in, not out. I forget what that meant.
Which is?
Keep looking at yourself looking within rather than looking for outside to. The problem is within, not without. So I think that relates to how is my mind behaving.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I have by thinking how is my mind behaving, checking, you know, only mind.
Yes.
Close to analyze their mind. We analyze our mind. Usually we analyze other people's mind. We analyze other people's behavior. So Shanti Devas, analyze your mind, analyze your behavior. Put effort. And means like see those who strive by all means for concentration should not wander off in even a moment. Don't think about others, just keep subdued your crazy mind. Mm. Okay, so now we go to the
I was just going to say, this verse reminded me of Garchen Rinpoche of the 37 practices. He often says this one, what's the state of your mind? With constant mindfulness and mental alertness, practice others good, you know. So it reminded me of that, you know, that kind of that Bodhisattva.
oh, same, yeah, same. And 37 Bodhisattva is actually always come from this way of Bodhisattva. You can see right now, yeah? Recognize. Mm. So now,
Yeah, that's clear.
42, DBA. DBA.
That's you, Debbie Connor. I'm Debbie B.
Oh, I'm Debbie. No, I'm Debbie C. Okay, 42. But if I am unable to do this when afraid or involved in celebrations, then I should relax. Likewise, it has been taught that at times of giving, one may be indifferent to certain aspects of moral discipline. And the thing I really like about this chapter is he's telling you how to live the rest of your life. Like literally, if you follow these instructions and do it 100%, you'll become a bodhisattva. So it's really interesting. It's a very interesting chapter. But what this means is either when you're experiencing like a strong emotion of fear, you can suspend the sort of the rules a little bit and deal with the fear and the object of the fear, is usually afraid of something that you need to take care of. Or if you're, if you're at a party, relax and eat. And in those sorts of situations, you have a little bit of leeway for not keeping up the alertness, but you also have to remember that you don't get attached to, you know, enjoy things, but don't become attached or desirous of, you know, things that are pleasurable. You know, you can loosen up a little bit. Don't just be all too tight.
So we have breathe air, right? Can breathe your air. You
No,
can relax yourself.
I don't understand the second, the third and the fourth line.
Okay, third and fourth line. Oh, so Sandra, can you give answer third and fourth line?
No, not really.
Oh, really?
No.
I think I can.
Okay.
Sometimes, you know, sometimes we just need to take a break, relax. It's like, you know, sometimes we become a little lax on the discipline, but we still need to be mindful, but it's nice to relax.
Well, what's
That's what
that
I
about
gotta-
giving? What's that about at times of giving?
And
When you're giving
at
somebody a
those-
present or what?
At those times of giving, then you want to be, sometimes you have to be indifferent and to certain aspects of moral discipline, which means take a break.
Take break from what?
Giving what? What are you talking about? I don't understand times of
I
giving.
don't feel like giving. I want to take a break.
Okay.
I
Oh,
want to hear
so
Tom V's theory.
I mean,
instead of giving, you just take a break from giving.
okay.
Yes,
Okay.
that's me. I'm
I thought it was more like Christmas or you're throwing somebody a party.
Okay, so
It's acts of generosity, you know, giving out like sweets or, you know, Christmas presents if people don't need, or throwing a party, you're going to eat too much.
Amanda, can you explain?
I think it means, I think generosity could mean different things. So it could be maybe going to someone's anniversary party or Christmas, or you celebrate Christmas, giving gifts, birthdays. So I think moral discipline would be is that conduct where if you're trying to be quiet, you're trying to be very alert, like Shantideva said in the previous verse, if you need to kind of hold that meditative gaze, to not be distracted, you can relax that so that you can enjoy being with others, but you still have mindful alertness. Is that correct, Kimpo?
Yeah, it's correct, yes.
Okay, thank you.
So
I
giving or
just, I just found the Padmakara translation. It makes a lot more sense. Those two lines I'm confused about, it reads, "For it is taught that rules of discipline may be relaxed in times of generosity."
Okay, so this has been told that at time of giving means like we have a generosity, we have a moral ethic too, right? Morality too. So when you get in the party or something like ready to giving things like generosity time, so you just let go your moral ethic conduct keeping so strong, you know. Like example, maybe Halloween comes and you can give the candies for kids and make them happy and wear something, you know. And so like rather than you just stay like this. So make them happy and
Kempo, I remember that His Holiness the Dalai Lama, in giving empowerments and teachings sometimes, he does a lot of joking to make it sort of fun and festive and joyous. So he might put on somebody's baseball cap instead of his crown, or do
so
silly things.
that's also part of that, see?
I think this morning you explained, Kempo, that we practice and everything, but there's once in a while we don't have to be so rigid. Like, for example, we need to be at a certain place to participate in a certain event or family program. So we should be a little bit relaxed and not always be serious and grim, but be with others. That is also part of our practice when we can. So in other words, middle way, not too rigid, not too extreme.
Yes.
Too serious is too extreme, and too relaxed is also too extreme. I think that's what this morning I kind of remember that you said. I'm not sure if that's the whole thing.
Important is like keep the Shanti Deva's mindful awareness, but you know, long as you really know, create a desire and you know, attachment, anger, something using the object that just you enjoy, you know, enjoy, and you use like something generosity time and like you use like giving things, enjoy, you know. So that's the same thing. We can do like sometimes like you can right now see if Shanti Deva is this time he said you don't have to be in the temple everyone to listen and teach, and you can come in the zone, stay at your where you are, you know, even you don't have to cross the leg, you can just sit like some easy, you know, and you can sit in the chair or in the bed and listening teaching. So sometimes like when you time is comes like that, you can do that. So time comes, you can do that. You know, if you have time to come to temple, you can listening teaching, you have all these opportunities, then you stay home, you doing things incorrect, right? So there's a time comes, it's like kind of a more informations has been told that at the time of giving means time. Sometimes like you cannot into that, but you can do something different ways. Okay.
Can you take one more comment?
Yes.
It says when afraid or involved in celebrations. And I was going to make a comment about when afraid. Of course, Shanti Dev wasn't thinking of driving 75 miles per hour on a highway, but I think that that might be a situation in that similar line of thinking when afraid. So there's levels of mindfulness that you can relax a little bit when you're driving on a major highway, especially if you're somewhere around Detroit where the driving is pretty tricky.
Mm. Yes. So this Jake is okay. Jake is Tibetan. It's afraid when afraid or involved in celebration. So see when you have scared something, then you also have to care for, right? So you is like focus for conduct, and you don't just like follow the generosity. If think about in the coronavirus, in the crowded, so you just giving things like hand to others is incorrect. You just keep your distance, stay distance. Yeah, because it's afraid, it's like, affected like this virus. And you don't have that, then you can giving things like even you don't keep distance, like distance, we kept the distinction is like moral effect. And you just don't you don't keep the distinctions, and then you're giving things like handshaking, everything, hug and the handshake is not keeping distance, right? It's like when you have like say coronavirus, you cannot do the handshakes, you cannot hug and keep distinction. So when you have Fred, you stay that way. So that means if you don't Fred, then you can handshake, you can hug. So not all the time. Sometimes you can do the due to the time. Due to the time. So example like due to the time, and when public talks and when teach the Dharma center is a little bit we make different. This is due to the time, due to the time, due to the culture, we make something different, So that's always followed by the culture and the time. But main point is always keep mindful awareness, no create causes of the desire and the causes of the anger. So long as you don't do that, and you can use other things, change. Okay, so thanks very much, and then we go to the next one. Next one, 42, right? Oh no, 43. Evie, can you read 43?
I should undertake whatever deed I have intended to do and think of doing other than it. With my mind applied to the task, I should set about for the time being to accomplish it. So it's like one-pointedness when you're doing whatever you're doing. Not always so easy to do.
So you kept the one with focus, yeah? If you don't keep the focus one, then what happened?
I was drawing up, I had to break a glass vial to draw up some medicine the other day. And it was such a difficult, chaotic day. I couldn't keep my mind on the task. So I just shattered it. The medicine was lost. I almost got cut. It was not good. But usually I can focus, but I lost the discipline in my mind because I got caught up in emotions earlier and could not focus. So I lost the medicine and I almost cut myself.
So Mary, do you have any explain that?
Well, she's right. You know, if you don't get it done, if you
Yes.
put your mind on what you're doing, do it, it's done. If you don't do it, you won't accomplish it.
Okay. Good. So then can you read the 40 next one?
Okay. By acting in this way, all will be done well. But by acting otherwise, neither action will be done. Likewise, there will be no increase in the proximate disturbing conceptions that come from a lack of awareness. So it's saying that if you act like that, keeping your mind on what you're doing, you will be able to finish it and accomplish that action and do it well. This is kind of an awkward word, no increase in proximate disturbing conceptions, which I'm guessing means emotions. Okay. There will be no increase in emotional conceptions, etc., that come from a lack of awareness. So if you lose your focus and all of a sudden you're like blaming yourself, oh, I should have been more aware and all this other kind of stuff, then that also disturbs you. You sort of blame yourself for your lack of focus, or it creates other emotions that then you have to cope with them too.
Okay, good. Thank you. The 45 dB.
45. Oh, okay. If I happen to be present while a senseless conversation is taking place, or if I happen to see some kind of spectacular show, I should abandon attachment towards it. So if I heard you correctly, Kempo, with this one, you said that it's about keeping that mindful alertness and looking at our outer circumstances kind of like as it's dreaming, so that you don't develop a desire or attachment to the things that you're seeing, and recognize it as a delusion, recognize it as a dream. And so in this way, then we will remain present, and we will not abandon that mindful mental alertness, not getting too excited, not getting too overly excited about objects and actions that are happening.
Thank you. So what means senseless conversation? Talk lots, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of talk. Don't be talking a lot. Maintain that mental alertness with your speech as well.
Yes. Thank you. That's great. 44, 46, 46. Thomas, please.
Yes, Captain. If for no reason I start digging the earth, picking at the grass, or drawing patterns on the ground, then by recalling the advice of the Buddhas, I should immediately step out of fear. The notes I have are, everything should be done for a reason. Be mindful of your action at all times. Recalling the advice of the Buddhas. So when you were explaining this, we were saying that cutting down trees or mowing the grass, that we are cultivating non-virtuous actions by killing and doing things that we shouldn't be doing. But we should always be aware of our conduct and be aware of what we're doing at all times. Be mindful.
Yes. So this is related to the, I think more is for keeping the environment, right?
Yes.
This, this when you talk the monks and the nuns, like dig the earth, and also when the grass is cut, you don't cut down the tree. But ordinary people, just more important is like not too much destroying the environment. Desire, people have so much desire destroying environment, so it's encouraged to the need.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay.
This just another side thing that came to my mind when we read this earlier today was that it kind of reminded me about not wasting your life away, because we have kind of these habitual on a more inner level, we have these habitual patterns, like you just sit down and mindlessly just pull grass and pick grass and draw things, kind of like doodling on paper, and if we continue to do that without the awareness that we're even creating those actions, not only are we, like Thomas said, harming beings and not following that, but we're also just like kind of instilling those habitual patterns, and we're wasting time.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Debbie, I had that same idea, but I also had the idea of doing that is an avoidance. Sometimes it's a procrastination or an avoidance, and that gets with the fear aspect, because sometimes when we don't want to face a really big task, we procrastinate and run away from it and hide under the rug.
That's yes, that's a good point. I like that too.
I think it's a typo. It should be stop, not step. There are plenty of typos in this thing.
Okay, good. Thank you, everyone. Next is 47, right? 47. Yeah, 47 is Curtis, please. 47.
Whenever I have the desire to move my body or to say something, first of all, I should examine my mind and then, with steadiness, act in the proper way. Well, if the desire is an acceptable desire, I will know that after I examine it. And then I can proceed in a steady way to act. But I have to examine my mind if my desire to say something or to do something with my body is not proper.
Mm. Okay, so great. Then next, we go to the 48. 48. Amanda, can you chant 48?
Yes. Whenever there is attachment in my mind, and whenever there is the desire to be angry, I should not do anything nor say anything, but remain like a piece of wood. I think this is very helpful. First we have to realize what we're doing and see that emotion as it arises, and then just don't do anything, just stop. And I know in another verse you said being like a peaceful piece of wood is better than acting on these things. It's much better. I thought that was really lovely. So it's better to be the peaceful piece of wood.
Thank you. Okay, so that's good suggestion. So we want to be piece of wood, okay? When we get anger and attachment, something. Next, 49. 49. David, can you chant the 49? Read the 49.
Me, Kempo?
Yes, sir.
49?
Yeah.
It was going together with the 50, but whatever I have distracted thought, the wish to verbally belittle others, feeling of self-importance, of self-satisfaction, when I have the intention to disguise the faults of others, pretension, and the thoughts to deceive others. it's related with pride. You know, you want to say bad things to people or feel more important because you put other people lower, and you have to avoid that. You have to control yourself and don't do that. It's more that you are recognized. You try to be higher than others and diminish other people and avoid to do that.
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
And then EDG, can you read 50?
Did I hear, was somebody, did you mention me?
Yeah.
What, okay, I didn't, your voice, I should be what, 40 or 50?
50, yes.
Okay. Whenever I am eager for praise or have the desire to blame others, whenever I have the wish to speak harshly and cause dispute, at all such times I should remain like a piece of wood.
Mm.
So, okay, so here, if I'm alert and mindful and I can see, I can determine what my intention is. And if my intention is praise, blaming others, or speaking harshly, that's when I should become the piece of wood, not do anything.
Yes. Can you do that?
Sometimes, yes.
That's good. Okay. So now 51 is Tom Wazini. Can you read 51?
Okay. Whenever I desire material gain, honor, or fame, whenever I seek attendance or a circle of friends, and when in my mind I wish to be served, at all these times I should remain like a piece of wood. So again, he's coming at it from a slightly different angle of desiring something. And because he has good self-awareness, that when he notices this, that he says that you should remain like a piece of wood. So he's giving advice, basically, and all those good observant moments that we're having.
Mm. Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
42, Lich.
Oh, it's pronounced Lachlan.
Oh, Lachlan.
Yeah, I have so much issue with these piece of wood ones, Kempo. Like, what if you want to make friends? Like, you need friends. You need spiritual friends, right? But if you want to go meet them, you have to remain like a piece of wood.
So first you check your intention. So it's like you have this kind of like pride, attachment, desire, all these emotions like increasing, you looking for that, causes of that, and then just be piece of wood. Otherwise you can have.
Well, I mean, it would be a desire to have friends. Is there no such thing as a healthy desire? I mean, even enlightenment is, or study or contemplation is a desire.
Okay, it's when
Could be also regarded like a queen bee. A queen bee gathers sycophants around her and orders them around to elevate herself. And it's very unhealthy for teenage girls to be lured into a circle of a queen bee in middle school.
But still mean actual bees, right?
Excuse me?
I see you telling me. It's like, I've never heard that expression before.
Queen bee, oh, it's like Mean Girls. It happens a lot in schools.
All right, no, that's just a new one on me.
So this is like this, okay? A sec attendance or a circle of friends means like everyone is like your red nose.
Exactly. That's
You,
a queen bee.
yeah, you control them. You want to control everyone. Say, okay, go to get these people, take down these people, like game people does, right?
Yes.
Yeah. If you're doing like virtuous deeds and the sangha and the meeting, helping others, like just regular ordinary friends, they're not talking about this is like you create, causes of suffering for others and ourselves.
I see. What about like, is it okay to be angry if the person you're angry at isn't there? Like, can you just like release the anger with
What?
other people or on your own or something?
Can you say again?
You're angry at someone who you're not with.
So who is not with you angry means?
You're talking about venting and venting your anger out and releasing.
Yeah. Yeah, like should you only remain like a piece of wood so you don't, hurt someone? But what if they make you angry, but then you leave and get angry at them when you're not with them?
I think venting can increase your habitual pattern of anger. You're reinforcing the thought in your mind that that person did you harm instead of transforming it into passion for their bad behavior, if you see it that way.
Exactly.
I think especially if you vent with other people, it really reinforces it as well, because you're trying to get someone else on your side, which reinforces your self-clinging and your ego, I think.
And it can create some anger in someone else.
Good points.
Okay, then good. Can you read the next one, Lee?
Yes. 52.
Yes.
Whenever I have the wish to decrease or to stop working for others and the desire to pursue my welfare alone, if motivated by such thoughts, a wish to say something occurs, at these times I should remain like a piece of wood. So whenever you sort of start having selfish desires rather than working for others, you should stop it and keep serving others.
Yes. Okay. So then 43. Lisa, can you read 43?
It's 50.
Whenever
43.
Whenever I have impatience, laziness, cowardness, shamelessness, or the desire to talk nonsense, if thoughts of partiality arise, at these times too I should remain like a piece of wood. So just don't give in to those kind of very, very bad habits. Says if you do give in to it, you'll decrease your practice. it's more inward, I think, than outward. That
Yes. So anyone has a comment about this?
It reminds me of impulsive people too. They speak before they think.
Mm.
In some other translation, they talk about the piece of wood, but instead of piece of wood, they said be still like a tree that is grounded. And sometimes in some verse, it makes kind of sense, be still and do not move, do not follow. Would that make sense? Because every time I think a piece of wood, I think of a blockhead, and that doesn't work. or in Asian, we said wooden head, like dodo, stupid. And so it just gave me this wrong idea or wrong meanings. So there's another one that it say that it's like you're be still like a tree, like a plant tree, and not be shaken, something like that. Is that what it was in the Tibetan translation, Temple? Because sometimes I see
Wood.
different version.
Wood, only wood. Yeah.
In British Columbia, they sometimes say a 2x4. Don't be a 2x4.
What means 2x4?
A blockhead, a 2x4. It's a plank that's 2 feet by 4 feet.
I see. Okay, so now the next one. Then this is okay, right, everyone? 43 is okay. 43 is a little bit harder, more explain, but it's also like just we keep simple ways. Okay, what you write nothing is also they can follow by participation, effort, and this follow some this we parameters. So now then for 44, Gail, please can you do the 54, sorry, 54.
54.
54.
54 says, having in this way examined his mind for disturbing conceptions and for thoughts that strive for meaningless things, the courageous Bodhisattva should hold his mind steady through the application of remedial forces. Okay, so here we are, a situation where you're having disturbing thoughts and attitudes, and they're quite pointless. You're not thinking about important things, really important things. So a courageous bodhisattva should really fortify your mind, hold the mind steady, and use all the remedial forces, all the different applications of good attitudes. And I can't remember the word that we always use. Somebody help me. Remedial forces. What's a synonym for that?
Antidote?
Antidote. Thank you. I just had a senior moment. So the antidotes. We need all of our antidotes at work, and choose the best one. And if that doesn't work, you can choose another one.
So the main point is when emotions and not important disturbing comes, so then we have to put effort, right, to use our mindful awareness, I think, and subdued these emotions. Antidote, right? Use antidote to emotion. Okay, so I think we finished it there today, right? Yeah, 54 is we finish it there. Thanks everyone. So we're going to we do the dedication. ADG, please, can you chant the dedication prayer?
Sure. I had to find the mute button. Emaho. In the center is a marvelous Buddha Amitabha, boundless light. On the right side is a Lord of great compassion, and on the left is Vajrapani, the Lord of powerful means. All are surrounded by limitless Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Immeasurable peace and happiness is the blissful pure land of Dewa Chen. When I and all beings pass from samsara, may we be born there without taking samsaric rebirth. May I have the blessing of meeting Amitabha face to face. By the power of the blessings of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions, may we attain this aspiration without hindrance. Theata pensadriya awa bodhanaya soha. Bodhicitta, the excellent and precious mind, where it is unborn, may it arise. Where it is born, may it not decline, but ever increase, higher and higher. By this virtue, may I achieve omniscience by defeating all enemies, confusion. May all who travel on the waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death cross the ocean of samsara. As Manjushri the warrior realized the ultimate state, and as did Samantabhadra, I will follow in their path and fully dedicate all the merit for all sentient beings. May the teachings of the great Drugumpa Ratnashri, who is omniscient Lord of the Dharma, master of interdependence, continue and increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation until the end of samsara.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you, Kempo. Thank you, everyone.
That was
Hasta
great. Thank you.
mañana.
That was really great. Thanks.
I understand that one.
That's for